Okay, multiple gain stages. Treble booster, linear power booster, clean boost basically, fuzz and amp drive combinations. Take a Strat, went into a Class A combo, can't even hear it at the moment. Drive maybe. That's because if you're using any kind of signal booster before your preamp, it'll have different effects on the clean channel and the drive channel. The drive channel will compress more, but the clean channel, for example, on my amp, which is a Laney VC30 at the moment, the clean channel has a ton of headroom. So that's why you can't hear it. So always bear that in mind before, you know, running to a gig using an LPB1, for example. You know, it should be balanced now. Hang on. Clean. Drive. Do the same thing again without the LPB1. I am playing, trust me. Drive. So, if it's an always on pedal, set your clean and dirty sounds with it always on. Once again, they have different compression rates. So I'm going to leave that always on. As my main drive sound. I'm on a Stratocaster here now. Stratocasters, a lot of guitars have these things. Look, it's got the volume control. A lot of my heavy metal friends don't know what that's for. They think it's a switch. It's like a really slow kill switch. But you can turn it down and the sound changes. Watch. I've already got a reasonable amount of drive there, not that much, bearing in mind that I ride the volume control a lot at gigs. Now, my LPB1 is on 8 at the moment. Now I've got a modded Screaming Bird here where I just modded the input and output caps, I think. It's only on 2 at the moment. Now if you have it on its own, the clean channel for example, is going to sound like poo. Sorry, clean. The LPB. You know, it's really nasally, but that sort of nasaliness is just what you need to help you clean up your sound with humbuckers, for example. Watch. So on single coils, I'll show you with the Les Paul in a minute. Okay. Each of the pickups becomes more emphasized and the pickup combinations are more emphasized because of the mid-range and treble boost coming before the LPB1. Now if we take some typically sort of Strat type sounds, drive sounds, try it the same with this. A relatively large amount of gain on that, of course, but I can just back my volume off. The sound's going to cut through the mix. You know, different pickup selections. Just riding the volume control here. By using multiple gain stages, we can get a lot of variety Same goes for the fuzz, okay? Now if I put my fuzz through into my clean channel, to me it sounds like a boss metal zone going into a transistor amp. There are uses for that kind of sound, of course, you know. Sort of splatty fuzz sound. Fuzz is, I'm in a fuzz face mode at the moment. Generally it's better going into a slightly driven amp. So, this is how you get this sweet violin sound. This is the secret. I show you I'm not cheating, look. Okay, me playing badly. I'll take my volume down. See how responsive it is now to picking dynamics. I just took a chip out of my Strat. Backing the volume way down now to like 1. Back it back up. It's a nice crunch. I'm on about 5. And now I'm going to take it all the way up. So we're going from, watch, here to here, so all the way up to, aha, there we go. Just on the volume control. You can also add the Screaming Bird in there as well, or any other treble booster. Might get a bit noisy. Yeah, you can see from my noise suppressor there that some noise getting through, because the fuzz is pre-noise suppressor, of course. You don't want to put, you know, any fuzz face type clones after a buffer. So here's all of them all together. Different frequency ranges being affected by each of the pedals, just giving me a very unpredictable response to my volume and tone controls. Look. Let's flick a few pickups here. You can use a treble booster and a fuzz together. It really tames the fuzz quite a lot. Now, another use for my treble booster is helping me out with Les Pauls. Hang on a second. I just found a Les Paul. Look. When using drive pedals, the difference between single coils and humbuckers is not as apparent as when you use your amps drive, like I use. There can be major differences. You know, it could be a perfectly great, clean and dirty sound on Strats, Tellys, anything with singles can sound like crap on humbuckers. Something you don't notice so much when you use Boss pedals, which could be the way they're designed, I don't know. I unfortunately don't use Boss overdrives at the moment, so now here's the typical sort of difference now with the mud coming from the Les Paul. It's much muddier. That's why I use my treble booster, and with the humbuckers I just leave the treble booster on all the time. I should leave the tuner on all the time anyway, off the shelf baby. So, I'm not a big gain fan. I know that some players use a hell of a lot of gain because they practice at home and then they go to the gig and it's just way too much and you can't even make out what they're playing. They don't realise that a lot of the oomph that you get, that ballsy sound, comes from something we call volume. Showing once again with the Fuzz, multiple gain stages, so why not also with the Les Paul. All my guitars have logarithmic pots. I took out the linear ones. I prefer the sweep and the dynamics with them. Now, Fuzz is on, drive on, booster, tuner maybe, no. Vote for which string is out of tune. Now. Get some sort of kind of telly type sounds out of the Les Paul too with the volume backed off. Now if I plug back in the cable, just get out. Wind it back up. Wound up. Usual high gain stuff, and treble booster onto. I'm being pretty honest about the noise here. Yeah, I am using a noise gate. Everything after the Fuzz is in the noise gate. The amp is gated using the X gating FX loop system. Just one noise suppressor for both the amp and the pedals. It works. Even with that amount of gain with Fuzz, treble booster and LPB, it's manageable. I mean, there is something there. Not that much. See? I'll just bypass the entire thing now. Sort of violin type tone with a Les Paul. Okay. Same thing again, combinations. Using your volume control is key, absolutely key. Okay. Anything else you add to those basic sounds is just, you know, for effect. Some delay on it, for example. Totally manageable. High gain, no noise. I can back off as much as I want to clean that sound up. So that in short is tone stacking using 3-4 completely different drive sources.